Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop. Stand still, that's the motto, yeah. Brand new bands for the auto, oh. Foot to the ground, full throttle. Big energy for the night like lotto. Y'all talk lots, never this quiet. Life like a Seinfeld plot. Vault full of songs, all of them bombs. Something like a minefield guy, boom. Get it, tickets running out quick. Bet it, never getting outbid. Said it, never had to shout it. They said I couldn't ever do it, okay, how's this? Fit a week worth of work in a minute. Machine well oiled, you know how I stay efficient. To-do list written, I do this different. Hold up, wait a minute, I ain't finished. Look, flows the same. Now paved the way, the snakes and fakes are chased out. Back to back to back, I changed the pace now. Had to stack the cash until the bank's out. Straight to the top, never going down, don't wait for the drop.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for attending our Future of Work with the Copilot. My name is John Zare. I'm the CEO at Point Alliance. Point Alliance is a Microsoft 365 specialist with many competencies, modern work, security, digital and app innovation, data and AI in Azure. So very good to have you here. So for today's session, we will record in this session. Also will be posted on our YouTube channel and our website. And we will also follow with the email with a copy of the presentation for your reference. So if you have any questions, please post in the chat and I'll be happy to answer all your questions. Again, this is a compact session. If we don't get to answer your question or something comes up later, please feel free to reach us at a later time. So for today's agenda, we're talking about the Microsoft AI overview, Microsoft 365 Copilot chat versus the Copilot. Then we're going to dig into the Copilot chat and the Copilot with a bit more features. Then next, we move into the Microsoft 365 Copilot features built into the productivity apps. And the next steps and additional resources we can provide you to make sure you're successful in your Microsoft 365 Copilot journey. So AI in 2025. So it's the hottest topic. And any events you attend, any article you read, there's a mention of AI. As of the earlier this year, there were about 70,000 companies offering AI in a different forms and ways. And again, it's very hard to choose, and depends on the product and so on. So some of the bigger players, of course, we got Microsoft, we got Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta, NVIDIA, and Tesla. So why choosing Microsoft 365 AI as a choice? So seamless integration across apps. It is very important. So all like a Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Teams, Outlook, personalized and secure access. That's, again, security is number one. We're going to touch on security a lot through this presentation. Is a number one concern for all organizations. How can we secure our data with the AI in play? Proven productivity outcome. We have used a tool already. Modern unified AI experience. Enterprise security and customization again. How is that AI is going to work? So adding the Copilot into your Microsoft infrastructure, it will abide by all the existing setting and security. So you don't have to reinvent the wheels of how you're going to secure this. Ongoing innovation. There's lots of support behind this thing. We see new updates and features coming out on the, if not weekly, on monthly basis that we will see. So let's touch on the Microsoft AI overview with the Copilot. So again, AI transformation within Microsoft is not just about technology. How does it increase the business value? How does it optimize cost? How does it help employees thrive in today's environment? Based off the one of the surveys was done for SMB organization, that's a small, like a sub 500 organization. They're projecting 253% return on investment over the 3-year period. One example that I use is that if you using Copilot and you're saving about, I don't know, 20 minutes a day, let's just say use that just 20 minutes a day, that ends up to be 3 weeks in the year. Imagine that you can using AI can save you that much. So return on investment is very clear. Again, you're gonna have employees that they're gonna be using more than 20 or less, but it will balance it out. So it is a game changer. As I mentioned, again, 6% increase in net revenue due to faster time to market, depends on the type of organization you are. 20% reduction of operating costs, 61% increase in employee satisfaction. Lots of organization employees are asking for the AI these days. Of course, with anything good, there are risks involved with that too, that we need to be worried about. There is a data oversharing and data leaks, identification of the risky AI use, so that's very important. AI governance and risk visibility. You see, those are all high numbers. They are all concerns that need to be addressed. And that's why, again, Microsoft play an important role here. So Copilot for Microsoft 365 is built on an existing Microsoft approach, security, compliance, privacy, and responsible AI. So what Microsoft does, the secure data address and in a transit, you control your data. Your information is going to be used for any learning and is always stay with your Microsoft tenant. And again, you're protected against AI security and copyright risk. So enterprise data protection, it is paramount here. So this is a big picture, and we're gonna go with a shorter, smaller version of this thing. So this is what's happening with the Microsoft, the 3.5 Copilot architecture, that you have all those things happen. We're gonna emphasize on the top and what's happening when people interact with it. So user prompt sent to the Copilot. So the prompt is one that is instruction you telling the Copilot what to do. Copilot access Microsoft Graph. So that's a gatekeeper to make sure what you have access to, what information, and so on. Then Copilot send a modified prompt to the large language model. Copilot receive the large language model response, and then we'll check it against the using a Microsoft Graph, which we talk about as a gatekeeper for purview and compliance. Are you allowed to see those information and so on? So there's all those protection in place already. Copilot abide by all those things. So we use lots of acronyms and names here that might be new to you. So I'm going to go through a few of those things to give you a better idea. So prompt in Microsoft 5 is your instructional request. It is a starting point to tell the Copilot what you want to do. And combined with the grounding and semantic index, it generates a useful context-aware response. As we try to explain one acronym, and the other one get introduced. So grounding and semantic index. So what is grounding? Grounding in Microsoft 365 Copilot means that AI pulls from real relevant context, either from your enterprise environment, via graph, or from the web. We talked about Microsoft Graph a few times. It's a unified API and data model that connect all Microsoft services and map relationship between people, content, activities. Next, this is very important. The semantic index is an AI-powered organization brain that maps meaning across your data, enabling Copilot to understand the context. So semantic index is a differentiator that when I send a prompt and the response I get, how is that going to be different from the person sits next to me and they send the prompt and information come back, because it's going to check who I am, what information I have access to, what my position is, and how I report to. So those are all important when you using Copilot in Microsoft 5. And then, of course, we learn here about the LLM and large language model a lot. It's a powerful AI brain like a GPT-5 that interprets your prompts, reason through your Microsoft data, and generate context-aware response across Word, Excel, Outlook, Teams, and more. And GPT, of course, ChatGPT was one of the first AI tools that we all use and we are familiar with it, and it stands for Generative Pre-trained Transformer. So Microsoft used GPT 5.0 right now, and the reason is that because Microsoft was one of the early investors into the Access AI, the company that brought ChatGPT to us, and that's why they have access to those information. Again, GPT-5 is the latest, most advanced generation of family enhancing, which is now available to you in your Microsoft 365 environment. And the last thing is response. This way, you provide the intent prompt, Copilot uses the data grounding and AI engine LLM, reason it out, and you get a business-ready response.
When you submit a prompt, Microsoft Copilot for Microsoft 365 brings in your universe of data via Microsoft Graph. It uses the semantic index for Copilot to correlate activity signals, retrieving indexed information that is uniquely relevant to you. It then presents the combination of your prompt with what was retrieved to the large language model to generate an informed response. Importantly, Semantic Index for Copilot works on two levels. By default, it indexes information within SharePoint inside your organization's tenant. Second, each user also has their own separate index for email and their individual important documents, like files shared with them, where they've commented, or were @mentioned, and more. This two-pronged approach is what increases relevancy, allowing Copilot for Microsoft 365 to orchestrate AI-generated results that are unique to you as a user based on your explicit access to information.
Again, that's very important, explicit access to the information. So AI will have same access when you run your prompting, will have same access that you have. It will never go beyond that, and so on. So that's very important. We get that question all the time. So there are two flavors of the Microsoft 365 Copilot, Chat and the Copilot. So initially, Copilot was introduced, which is integrated with your productivity apps. And a while ago, also the chat was added. So the reason behind that, because the chat is same thing if you use the chat GPT. Same interface basically is it's use the same engine. But the most important part of that thing, it is the enterprise protection. In compare, if you're going to use the ChatGPT or any AI tools out there, that your data is mercy of the vendor you're using.
Microsoft 365 Copilot is your AI companion that helps inform and inspire you with helpful advice, feedback, and answers. There are a few versions of Copilot for you to consider. Let's take a look at Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat and Microsoft 365 Copilot. Copilot Chat is available to businesses that have a Microsoft 365 subscription at no additional cost. With it, you can access features like text generation, image generation, and basic data analysis. Because it's grounded in the web, it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull in relevant information. For example, you can get help with tasks like drafting emails or getting summaries of documents that you upload. Next is Microsoft 365 Copilot, the paid version of Copilot, which gives you all of the functionality of Copilot Chat, plus the ability to access business emails, create Teams meeting summaries, summarize information in Word or Excel, create draft PowerPoint presentations, find information in OneDrive and SharePoint, and more. Finally, Copilot agents are available in both Microsoft 365 Copilot and Copilot Chat. These AI-driven agents can be created and used to connect to your organization's data to automate and execute business processes. With them, you can troubleshoot with customers in real time, or let it handle repetitive tasks like answering commonly asked HR questions. There are agents that are free and agents that are billed based on usage. Now that you know the differences, go ahead and start using Copilot to boost your productivity and streamline your tasks.
All right, so touch on that again. Copilot Chat is free, available to anyone with a Microsoft tenant and has almost any type of license. The Copilot full version, it is add-on that will provide you the Copilot features into your productivity application and also give you the access to the agents and dashboard and other advanced analytics to quantify the return on investment. So we introduced a couple of more things here. Agent. So you hear about that. That name is common across all AI tools out there. So an agent in Microsoft 365 is a custom-built AI assistant made in with Copilot Studio that goes behind generating general Copilot functionality. So it can focus on specific role grounded in your company data and automate the process. That's important. And Copilot Studio is a Microsoft toolkit for customizing and extending Copilot. So again, that comes at no cost with the Microsoft 365 Copilot, allow you to build these tools. And the great thing about the agent is that also allow when you create that, you can share it with your colleagues and coworkers to use that agent. That keep in mind, uh, the agent, when the person runs it, will run it based off their access, not the person that created the agent in the first place. Again, security is very important. You're never going to see information you should not have access. So I'll give you a quick chart. The differences here, and you can see the chat and agents are available to the both version. Although to run the agents, if you have a chat only, is a consumption based, so you pay for per consumption. Within the licensed version, it is included. Personal assistant, of course, that's only in the paid version, and it's built into the productivity app. In this example, it's Team, Outlook, Word, and Excel. That number is increasing on a monthly basis as well. A Copilot control system, again, there you have more control. And the price I have here, this is in Canadian dollar, by the way. If it's in the US, would be a slightly less. So let's just going into the Copilot chat a bit. So Copilot chat, of course, you got access to the chat, agents to create, and the IT controls as well. So that's important that, as I mentioned, enterprise data protection and the management of information.
Copilot Chat gives you free and secure enterprise-ready AI chat powered by GPT-4o in a familiar and consistent interface. Say you work in business planning for an EV charging company and you're developing the strategy for the year. You start by asking Copilot to do some research on the web. You want some basic information, like how EV charging has grown by region. Copilot is grounded in the web, so it can reason over the entire internet and quickly pull the relevant information. Great! Now let's see how these national trends compare to your sales results. With Copilot Chat, you can easily and securely upload files, like your sales data, and have it visualize your regional sales for the past few quarters. And you can continue to iterate with Copilot, like asking it to recommend strategies to help increase sales in lower performing regions. With Copilot Chat, you can quickly gather insights from the web and securely upload and analyze your data, bringing the power of AI directly to your workflow.
All right, next we're gonna go into the Copilot, your AI assistant for work. So again, on the productivities apps will have a Copilot advantage of it. So again, let me mention Outlook, Teams, Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and the list growing, and we will share the latest list with you shortly. So you will have access to the large language model. You will use the Microsoft Graph to access your data, Microsoft apps, and the internet. So you can access the chat from the anywhere. So again, this link's going to be hot too. You can do that. So as with the full version, you have access to the chat because you still need that because same thing as you use like a chat GPT tools in the app, Copilot Studio, and adoption and measurement. And that's very important, especially for management. You will make this big investment into the Copilot licenses. You want to make sure it is a tool being used properly. And if people require additional training, you can also help them with that. The management will not have access to your chat history and so on. So all those things is confidential, only available to that user, by the way. So again, we touched on this before as well, consistent UI for all AI, integrated in the tools that we use, platform for agent extensibility, enterprise security we have, flexible portions and deployment. So again, you could maybe perhaps for part of your Salesforce, you will have just a chat, but some people might need a full version. And you can also measure that, and you can reallocate as needed. As I mentioned, the list is growing. This is as of the few weeks ago. So again, you got the Copilot chat, Outlook, Word, PowerPoint, Teams, Excel, OneNote, OneDrive, Loop, uh, Whiteboard, Planner, Form, SharePoint, Clipchamp, and Viva. So let's talk about what's the best way to use Copilot. So this is a top 10 list that based off the people experiences. Number one, recap your meeting. This is phenomenal. You have a long 1 hour meeting, and you always have to take notes and you worry, did I miss this or not? By just recording a meeting or transcribing a meeting, you will end up with a recap at the end, which tells you what was discussed, what task was assigned, and who's going to do what. The great thing about the recap is that you also can ask question that was this discussed through this meeting in case you missed the meeting. Next thing is summarize the email thread. Maybe you were away and you got lots of emails, you want to summarize that. You can get a gist of what's happening and so on in a matter of the second. Draft the email. That's another great thing is that you want to start the email. Maybe you put a couple of sentences. You want to make it more, more formal, less formal, and so on. It really helps you to kind of create the emails. Summarize the document. It is fantastic. Okay, you can upload it to the Copilot chat, and you said, "Tell me about the question you might have." In one example, I was looking into the pet insurance. I uploaded a document, it was 150 pages, and I said, what do I need to watch for? In a matter of seconds, give me 5 bullets that what should be watched for if I go with that insurance and what's included or not included. That will take me hours, and I'm not a legal person. Those the documents. Tell me about the topic or project. Again, you can ask that. Give me some ideas that you're looking for. Maybe boost the creativity with the ideas for work. Help me write again in the Word. That's great. You can give it maybe, and we have this example of this coming shortly too. Maybe you want to draft a proposal based off RFP and so on. We'll really can do things that would take you hours or days in a matter of minutes. What did I say? Again, you can put their name there, and I said they will check your email, your chat, and whatever you have access to. How do I? That's a number 9. If you're not a Excel power user, sometimes you want to put a formula, you're not sure how to do it, you don't have to go search internet for answers. Now you can ask Copilot to help you. Number 10 is to translate the message. Maybe you're working for an international company, you receive the message in your native language, you want to translate that. We'll translate that for you in the fly. In addition, if you have a Microsoft 365 Copilot, now is a live translation built into the Teams. As the person talks and the lips moves, you will hear it in your native language. That's phenomenal, that experience. So you don't have to read subtitles or anything like that. You actually listen to person that's speaking your language. So working with the Copilot, what do you want to, some of the do's and don'ts that you want to do? It is very important. Always refer to the Copilot when you're working with the AI. You want to have a good relationship, a frank and open relationship with that. So it's very important to be clear and specific what you're asking for. Keep it conversational. Don't do it like when you do text messaging in the short form. Type proper sentences. It might be paragraph, but depends what you want to get out of it. Give examples. If you're looking for something specific, you can include a link, maybe a document link or something. It could give an example. So the more information you give, the better response you will get. If the response come back and it's not what you were expecting for, reason with it. Ask for feedback. Again, write legibly. We talk about that. Check for accuracy. That's very important when you use AI. At the end, you're responsible for the content. So you need to always make sure. There are times that the AI can hallucinate and give you the information that's not correct. Within the Microsoft Copilot and Copilot chat, you always get a reference at the bottom of it. It's okay, where did I find that information? You can validate that, or I can tell Copilot, okay, this is not what I'm looking for. Refer to the different sources. Provide detail. The more detail, the better. And of course, be polite to it. And of course, don't be. We talk about this. Don't be vague. Request inappropriate or unethical content. use slang, jargons, or informal language, give conflicting instruction, so be clear what you're asking for. Interrupt or change the topic abruptly. So what happen if you prompted something, let the result come back. If you're trying to change the subject, open a new chat within there. So open a new conversation, basically, and so on. So it's important to kind of keep this in mind. And again, as I start using it, this all become natural. So leveraging Microsoft 365 Copilot features, we're going to touch on, we have some good videos on the how to use it within the Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Office, and Teams. Again, some of this thing might be a bit overwhelming and said, well, this is lots, but at the end, what is important, you know, what is possible. And you will start using the tool and become all just natural to you. So let's just start with how to use it within the Word.
With Copilot in Word, you have an invaluable partner working at your side, helping you become a better writer. You will now be able to seamlessly integrate work data directly into your document. Let's use an example where you need to respond to an RFP. To get started, you ask Copilot to reference the latest product specs and mirror the approved format previously used. You had a great meeting on the customer's needs, so you ask Copilot to pull in details from the meeting and chat. Copilot gets to work, creating a plan to craft the document. Within seconds, Copilot executes its plan, automatically attaches a security label to match the source material, and creates your first draft, a task that otherwise may have taken you or someone in your team hours to complete. Now it's time to iterate on Copilot's work. It looks like it didn't include updated pricing for this customer. Let's ask it to reference an email and pull in the discount. The proposal could also use a little more information about your key value propositions, including your certifications and standards. This will look best as a table in your document. Let's add why these certificates are important for retailers. There you go. Now, with the help of Copilot in Word, you have a polished RFP response in the fraction of the time it would have taken for you to do on your own, and you're ready to review and share the document with your team and the customer.
Again, that was a great example. You can see provided enough information, reference documents, where to go to, and as a result, you end up with this document. Again, then at the end, you're open. You can go make the modification as you want to.
Copilot in Excel makes anyone a data analyst. Say you want to understand annual revenue trends, how each product is selling, which categories are performing best, and what's driving sales. To do that, you need to bring together data on product sales, pricing, and customer feedback. First, you import your data sources. Now you have a workbook with all the raw data you need in one place, and you can use Copilot to shape and analyze the numbers. Let's start by figuring out which category of your business is driving the most revenue. You know how to calculate that, but this sheet has 3 years of sales data, with thousands of rows showing sales by product by month. So while it's a routine task, this much data can be unwieldy. You can ask Copilot to quickly calculate monthly revenue by product. It knows how to do that, and which data to reference across tabs. Copilot creates a plan for how it will run those numbers, executes that plan, showing its work as it goes, and prompts you to ask questions or iterate on the solution it reached. It looks great, so you're ready to add that column to your spreadsheet. Now a new ask has come in, and you need to understand how each product category is performing and ensure that you are selling at least $100K in product in each category per month. Let's start by comparing sales by category. You ask Copilot to create a simple bar chart so you can quickly see which product categories are selling the best. And with conditional formatting, it highlights the product lines that aren't meeting the $100,000 minimum threshold, so you know where to focus. Now that we know which products aren't selling well, let's dig a little deeper and see what we can learn from the customer feedback. Copilot in Excel can now reason over text, like this raw customer data. Copilot analyzes all the customer feedback from the past quarter and surfaces the top 3 concerns. It looks like charging speed might be an emerging issue. Let's ask Copilot to highlight customer reviews that mention charging speed. Now, with the help of Copilot, you've taken a complex, disparate data set and quickly analyzed it, giving you a full picture of your revenue trends that you can bring to the upcoming business review.
All right, the next one is a PowerPoint. So this is very powerful, and you can see how easy you can craft a PowerPoint and slides and ready to go in a matter of the minutes.
Copilot in PowerPoint is your creative partner as you iterate and co-create to develop your presentation. Let's say you're a sales lead getting ready to pitch a new retail customer. You ask Copilot to create a compelling pitch deck in your company template that shows how your product will attract shoppers and keep them in the store longer. Now, with Copilot in PowerPoint's new narrative builder, you are in creative control. It starts with a draft outline, where you can reorder the flow, delete topics you don't want, or add new ones, and ensure you've got a solid outline before creating a presentation. Let's add a section on our key value props tailored to customer insights. And another section with customer testimonials. Within seconds, you have a content outline, and you're ready to start on your presentation. Copilot makes a plan for creating the slides and executes it, crafting the titles and draft copy, pulling in images from your corporate library, and applying your company's PowerPoint template so the presentation is on brand. Now you're ready to iterate with Copilot as your partner. It looks like this slide could use an image. You tell Copilot what you're looking for, and within seconds, it provides several options from your company's approved image library. Copilot can also provide AI-generated images using Designer and DALL-E 3. Now that you've selected a photo, PowerPoint gives you several slide design options aligned to your company brand guidelines to choose from. You can keep iterating, but let's see what Copilot has helped you build so far. It added speaker notes to every slide, built slide transitions, and added animations, giving you a professional-looking presentation that's on brand. With Copilot as your design, writing, and editing partner, you can focus on nailing your pitch.
Well, that was fascinating. Next, we're going to touch on the Outlook.
Managing your inbox can feel like a full-time job. But now, Copilot in Outlook can help you prioritize what's in your inbox. It analyzes all your emails using both the content of your messages and the context of your job, like who your manager is and who's on your team, to highlight what's most important. You can then sort by priority based on Copilot's analysis. Let's take a look at this email from a new customer, Tailwind Traders. When you select it, Copilot shows you why it thinks it's significant and highlights what action you need to take. This is a key customer for the next few months, so you teach Copilot that all emails mentioning them are a top priority. Now Copilot knows to prioritize any email from Tailwind Traders. Copilot is your partner, helping you manage your inbox so you don't miss what's most important. Now let's switch to Outlook Mobile. You have to run to a meeting, but you don't want to leave the customer hanging, so you need to draft a response on the go. We're making it even easier to be productive on your phone with Copilot in Outlook. Copilot analyzes the email and offers some suggested responses. Now all you have to do is pick one as your starting point and instruct Copilot on what else to add. Copilot generates the solid draft, and it's ready for editing. Because this is going to a customer, you want to make it more formal, so you ask Copilot to adjust the tone. You can easily flip through the options and select which version you like the best. The second paragraph could also use an update. You can edit it yourself or ask Copilot to help. Let's highlight the relevant section and tell Copilot what you want to include. Once you're happy with the edits, you can accept the changes and your email is ready to send.
All right, and number one, use of Copilot is in Teams and meetings.
Copilot in Teams can now reason over both the meeting transcript and the meeting chat to give you a complete picture of what was discussed. You meet as a team to discuss the customer's RFP. As the meeting wraps, you think you might have missed some questions in the chat. Often the best ideas and the most thoughtful questions happen in the chat. Now, Copilot in Teams captures this valuable, higher bandwidth conversation. Let's open up Intelligent Recap and ask Copilot if you missed any questions. It quickly scans what was said and what was in the chat, looks for questions, and checks if any were left unanswered. Now you have a list of any open questions without having to scroll back through the chat. With the help of Copilot in Teams, you can quickly and easily stay on the same page with your team.
All right, so what are the next steps? So one of the things you want to do, the security is very important. Again, these links are hot. You will receive it in email as well. Sign up for the Microsoft Copilot Readiness Assessment. We provide that to make sure is your SharePoint sites are secure. Do you have all the proper security within your intro and so on? Learn how to AI is poised to create a whole new way of working. That link take you to lots of great resources. Microsoft done an amazing job to provide those resources. Next one is leverage getting started content as well. Delve into the security, privacy, and compliance, and also get a better acquainted with the art of prompting with the Copilot lab. We also have a link to these executive click-throughs if you want to experience for yourself for Teams, Outlook, Loop, Word, Excel, and PowerPoint that can be shared with you. And lastly, I want to thank you all for attending our today's session. I hope you find it informative, and we would greatly appreciate it if you could scan the QR code and give us a 5-star review on Google. That said, this brings our session to the conclusion. Please feel free to reach out back to us with any question you have. We love to talk anything Microsoft, and we will share this information with you. That's it. That brings this our session to the conclusion, and have a wonderful day.